Hi there, guys. I am back again as part of the continuation of Wing It Wednesday. I really was inspired with the card I just did from the Griffin gift from the Celebrations craft box. Here, let me pull it out here real quick. I have it here handy. This one, the Finishing School. I just did that card for you guys. I wanted to use it for the card swap that I have to do. Then it's going to be, and it's all patriotic, so it's supposed to be red, white, and blue. So I really got going on it, and I got my creative juices. So I'm going to go ahead and make another card with you guys. So let me start off with, I just cut, I took an 8.5 sheet, 8.5 by 11 sheet. This is my first one, and I'll go into major production mode and just cut a whole bunch of them out. And I need to score it as soon as I find my scoring. There it is. My bone folder is all buried in there. And obviously I just cut it 5.5 and just left it at the width at 11 because the half of 11 if you know how to score correctly. So that one's, but that's okay because I can cover that score up just by what I'm going to do next. So I am not stressing the mistake. Remember, guys, I make mistakes too, and a lot of them I make them while I'm talking. So there you go on that. Let me put away my scoreboard, and then I'm just going to burnish that in. And I'm like I said, I'm not even going to worry about that score, though. You can kind of sort of erase it out just by taking the tip of your bone folder and pressing on the back side of it, and not perfectly, but it did get rid of it. But in this instance, I'm not stressing it at all because this next step will take care of that. I'm going to make use of this beautiful embossing folder that I didn't get to use on the last card that comes with this kit. It is just magnificent. So I'm going to just go ahead. I cut a piece of paper, 5.5 by 5.5 in red, because remember my theme is red, white, and blue. And I just put that in there. Let me find, oh, here, they're right in front of me. Hello. I'm going to put that inside my embossing folder. And on the Empress, all you need is the embossing folder and then just your two plates, your two A plates. And we're going to run it right through. We hit our run button there. And away we go. I am really impressed. This machine does a really good job. I don't know, I'm going to be honest with you here, if I had bought this before I bought the Gemini, if I would own both my Geminis. And that's not to say that I'm unhappy with them. I love them. But there you go. Can you guys see how just pretty that, it does an amazing embossing job, but it's a little, to me, it looks a little off kilter, and that may be because I was talking and centering. But look, since I cut down the paper, I have 2. And since ultimately I'm going to make 12, let's see, and I bet you what I'm looking at is the bottom. So let's take a second. Let's do this right. And that's probably what it is. It's just stuck out. So let's just do that, and we'll see, because see, it's sticking out on this side. And you can see where it's not going up into there. And that might have been there we go. I think this one's going to be for the money. It will. So see, this is what happens. And these are things that happen when you're talking while you're working. And I'm not a pro. I am just a mad scrapper. But I love what I'm doing. And oh my gosh, it feels so good to be doing this again. I did spend some time this morning in my other office, which is now the back garden. And I did take time this morning to shoot an update video, so I'll have that for you for anybody that cares. There we go. So we did another one. I swear to Pete, it still looks a little bit wider here than here. But in the grand scheme of things, likely nobody's going to notice, and or I will trim it off. But either or, I have now this panel, which is going to go on top of the card. And look, suddenly you no longer see the boo-boo I made. Ah, see? There's always a fix to all mistakes. There are no mistakes. There are only opportunities for creativity. Now, being that I have a thing for shaker cards, I had decided I wanted to make this into a shaker card, but I also wanted to make use of, where did the die go? Oh, here it is. I already have it on the metallic mat. This die. So I did a test run and it worked. So give me a second. I'm going to shake out. Hang on a second. Let me beat out the bits on this. Hold on. I beat the bits out. You guys didn't need to see or hear the fact that I just beat this right on the glass and I get out all the bits. But what I did, because I wanted to cut, when you cut this out, let me show you. I did a sample cut. It cuts out solid. I thought, that's cool. and it works with what I want to do. However, I really had my heart set on trying to make a shaker card, because thus far in all my swats, I've always made a shaker card, and I just like them. And there you go. It's my thing. So what I did is I grabbed, and these are the circle dies I was talking about that I got from the Stamp Doctor. So I have both sets, die set 1 and 2, and I will link in the description below to them. Always, I mean, I believe they're like $24, $25 a piece regular price, which is not bad at all for the number of dies you get. But she has periodic sales, so get on her email list, and if not, I will alert you guys when she has a sale going on. But I have both sets. But what I took is I found the one that fits right inside of the opening of this guy, of this one. So I used that, so then I just taped it in place. Let me move my lovely on my die holder, which now helps me. I should have it standing up over here, except my 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 Empress is sitting there. But what I'm going to do is I've already pre-cut strips of paper, 8.5 by 11 by 4 5/8, and I will give you all these measurements below if you have this kit or wish to acquire it. I think it's still, you can still get it on I don't think it's available on HSN anymore, but I'm pretty sure it is on Anna's website. But I love this mat, the metallic, the magnetic mat really holds things in place. So all I did was put the tape to hold the circle die inside of this one, and it is my magnetic mat. Here is my shim. They're all held together. I put it on one plate and then on the other, and yes, you do cut into the mat. It gives me the willies too, but it seems to handle it, so we'll see. And then we're now going to run it through my Empress, and let's punch that little run button. Run, Empress, run! Fly like the wind. And I love, this is the other thing I so love about the Empress. It is so quiet. Peanut Gallery was like, is that the Empress? And I go, uh-huh. We cut that and take that right off. Isn't that amazing? It's like perforated paper. We just take those off, the pieces off. And let's take a look. Because is it coming all off? I think on the last one I did have to run it through twice. But this, see, I do. So I'm just go ahead, not touch anything else. And we're going to run it through a second time. It'll, for sure, this time it will for sure. And I'll run it this way. I notice that I seem to think it's a difference. So maybe I just need to cut down my paper so that I can run it. So when I do more, and maybe I'll do another one that way, cut the paper down so I can, you know, and see if that makes a difference. And I only have to run it through once. I am asking it to do a lot, and I'm because yes, that took me an extra 15 seconds. Oh my, the horror of that, right? But there it is. Now it cut all the way through. Yay! And I'm just going to take my not pokey tool because it's not handy, and I'll just use my tweezers, which will work just as well. But look, there you go. Now I have the beautiful opening there, and now all I have to do is, what I'll do is grab the next circle die larger, and then I'll cut my acetate, and then I'll just run the glue right there. And that's all I need. All I need is 1/8 of an inch because I have the 1/8 inch tape, and then that's what I'll use to dimensionalize it a bit, and that will give it, so then I can just, you know, put my little shaker bits. But why I did this was because you notice how beautiful this is, and had I used this, I would hide. I mean, you can still see there's plenty of pretty embossing there, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff is spectacular right here, and I wanted it to be seen. So if I do this, now suddenly only a portion of it is hidden. But now when I'll be able to, even with the shaker bits, you'll still be able to see that beautiful embossing in the background. And that's what I wanted. So sometimes you just have to think a little bit outside of the box to do something. So you can do this with any embossing folder and your shaped dies if you want to have an embossed background on a card. So I've gotten that far in it, and now what I'm going to do is what I'm going to make this out to be is a birthday card. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to pull some of my blue. See, this is just some of my scrap blue because I did a bunch of blue layers and then changed my mind, which is why you see this mat all worn out. And that's when I started zagging and zigging, because that's what happens when you wing it. You change your, and I'm just a fickle person. And let me come back in here, grab this. I really want it to be standing up where it's supposed to be, but I'm just taking a break because it's a lunch break and I'm doing that. So I have my desk still set up for work, but I have the time and I just, you know, the fire to want to work on stuff. And, you know, like I said, I've been in a bit of a funk and just a lot of life going on. But I'm just taking, this is a happy birthday die from Tonic, and I will link you down below to it if I can find it. I was one of the bundles I got from them, but it had stars, and I go, perfect. This is it. We're going to give a red, white, and blue card. There was no designation of, you know, any theme or anything other than red, white, and blue, so mine is going to be a birthday card. So, you know, if there's a birthday in May or there's a birthday in July, a July baby, hello, I'm a July baby, so I can do that. I'm not the 4th of July month, I'm the 19th, so it's still a ways away, and that's okay. But still, July babies can get a red, white, and blue birthday card. So let's run that through. I'm just going to give it a once through. I'm doing this. Normally I would do this off camera, but I do want you to see how well the Empress works with just different dyes. Look at that. It just came right out. Isn't that just fabulous? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a second one because I'm going to 2 or 3. We'll see. You know, but isn't that just here? Let me put it behind the back. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then not only that, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer, that it has a bit of embossing to it. So it's dimensional by its own nature, but I'm still going to do it 2 or 3 thick. So I'm going to cut a couple more. You don't need to see that. And then I will be right back. And I will also then cut out the acetate, and we'll start assembling this card because this is coming together really quickly. Okay, I'll be right back. Hey, I am back. I wanted to go ahead and move forward. As you can tell, there's a bunch of circles on my metal shim. I want to explain that. I went ahead and jumped ahead, and I went ahead and cut out the my little acetates for the shaker card, and I wanted to show you there was no way around it. It hurt. It hurt me. It hurt me to have to cut into my shim. It was the only way I personally could get these to work out, to cut on using the oh Lord have mercy, using my Empress. But I wanted to show you that it will still work. It, you know, it is what it is, guys, so don't be afraid. So all I did is I put my die. This is again one of the dies I got from listen to me, the Rug Doctor. Oh Lord have mercy. Let's try that again, from the Stamp Doctor. But it is her die that I use, and I got because I have them in all the graduated sizes, so I had the right size. So I have the whole cutout, as you guys saw. Here it is cut out, and then now I got a bigger one, and I will show you. Let's run this through and you will see. Let's run this through so you can see that there is survival. I have an idea, and let's see what happens if I do it, which is to run it through without a die and see if it flattens it back out a bit. If not, it is flat out what it is. Ha ha ha, pun intended. So here is my little circle, and if you put it on the back of this, there you go. It fits very nicely within. Hopefully you can see that right back there, so that then I will have that, and then I just put down my tape. But let's see what happens. I meant to try this. So let's see what happens if I run this by itself without a circle in it. Let's see what happens if I run it with the die, if it'll do anything towards flattening it out a little bit. I don't know. I don't see much difference. We're gonna even, actually, I think I see a little bit of a difference, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But, I mean, it is what it is. Our machines, I mean, are here to be used, and you try to keep them, well, I don't know, I don't see much difference. That, you know, it'll still function. Normally it would live, and I tried every way of trying to cut the die, and the only way I could get it to cut acetate was straight into the shim. So if it's a big, huge problem, I suppose I could just peel off a couple of bucks or whatever. We'll see. I mean, you know, I'm gonna look that up. I should look that up and see how much it costs to replace the magnetic shim, and then have a good shim and a bad shim. If that makes sense. But anyway, okay, at this point, I've got now all my components. I've got my circle, I've got my piece, I have got my red, all ready. So I'm at the point where now, at the very least, I can put these all together, and I get my shaker bits. So give me a second. Let me go find the foam and my shaker bits, and we will move on. And then I will locate where I have put my card base. And we are at a point where we can assemble, because I've also got here, let me put, because I try to be organized here. Look, I am organized. Here's my card blank. Here are my happy birthdays. Wait, there's one more there. I'm going to stack them, I believe 3. So when this is going to be fun later, because I'm doing 12 of these cards. I'm doing a dozen. So that's going to, so we're ready to rock and roll with this. So I'm pleased. I think, look at that, just set up like that. I think it looks really cute. So yay me. All right. Let me not get too excited. I mean, you know, I'm going to pat myself over the back too much, and I have an idea about what to do inside of these stars. So I'm thinking they're going to involve little rhinestones, because heaven forbid I should not torture myself with them. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, guys? Well, hello, guys. I am back. Let's rock and roll and get this card put together. Or maybe not rock and roll, but we're going to do something, okay? So I'm ready. I've got my lovely little piece of acetate already cut out in a circle. I've got my back panel. I've got the rim, and I've got my both my foam pieces and glue, and then we have all kinds of sparkly bits here on the side I'm leaving out of the way for right now. So first off, we're going to glue down the acetate to my panel here, because it would not do well to do that afterwards and then just have all the, you know, all the sparkly bits just fall out the hole, because I'm a dingbat. So let's just go ahead and just carefully put this glue just a little bit. Doesn't need a lot, and this is pretty quick drying glue, and I'm using the Nuvo for that exact reason. You know, and hopefully it won't backfire on me. I shouldn't need a lot of playtime. I shouldn't need any playtime, but now watch. I'm saying that and doing this, and now watch. This is me we're talking about, remember, okay? And let me make sure there are no squiggly bits on there. And let's see, and we're just going to lay it down. And voila. That is good. Just press it down. But I don't want to press it too much, because I don't want the glue to come out on the other side. And see, this is what happens when I do something. Okay, we're going to try that again. That was just classic Myra. Just this. Okay, give me a second. Let's go wipe this down. Guys, I couldn't. That was just too good. That was that. Oh my God. Let's clear up the glue here. Okay, I'll grab my little wet one. Close that up. Let me grab my towel. And now we are going to know. We know. Be patient, Myra. Be patient. So we're going to do this one more time, because practice makes perfect. And we have another clean one, because we went ahead in the break and I went ahead and cut out, you know, I'd already had cut out all the ones I needed for the, excuse me, for the gift card exchange this is for. So we're going to do this one. Obviously, this doesn't dry as fast as I was giving it credit for. That's okay. But now, you know, maybe give it a, you know, more than, you know, a split, you know, New York second like I did. Don't be impatient. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this again. Make sure there are no, because it's easy to pull off anything that, you know, is stuck to it right now, like little furry bits and whatnot. Lint. And make sure there's none on the glass top either. And we're going to put this down again. Just press it down enough so that it makes contact and the glue grabs. And then what we're going to do is put it aside. Yes, let's do that and let it dry for a few minutes. And that piece that I just got all messed up, that's not a loss. I will clean it up and then I will put it on again. So that's not a problem. What I'm going to go ahead and do meanwhile is redeem myself and do something useful. And you know what, before I do anything, let's go ahead on this one. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the back of it on, although I could find a nice happy birthday sentiment, but since it's for the card swap, nobody is stamping the inside of the card, so that it allows the recipient to use their own stamp themselves. So let me grab, where is, I know I saw it right here. Yep. This is the stamp lately I have been using on all of my cards. This time I actually think I can use the Misty. Half the time I'm stamping the backs of my cards after I have them all 3D'd out to within an inch of their lives. So, on this one, I actually can, because we'll just... Okay, no, it's on the back, you ding-a-ling. Did I decide? Yeah, I decided to make it a side fold. So let's just throw down a couple of magnets so it doesn't move around. I'm just going to lay this down and eyeball the centering of it. That looks pretty good. I like putting it pretty low, although now I'm gonna take a mind. I'm gonna change my mind and bring it up just a little smidgen. And that looks pretty good. You know, I'll sit here and squoogel for forever and a day if you give me half a chance. So let's just, and then what I will do is look at it on here. And yes, it is straight. I use the little lines, and let me turn around, sorry for moving away, and grab my VersaFine. And while we're allowing that to dry, because like I said, I don't want to make the same mistake twice. Nothing else, I'd like to be original and make a new one. And then let's just stamp this down. And I don't know if you guys have seen, there's people using all kinds of different tools to do what I'm doing here with my fingers. They're called chucks, I guess. I found a video and I'm going to make one of my own. So that will be a upcoming video I bought. Let that sit here. I just got this at the dollar store, but I'm going to take this and use this so I can use it as a tool to press this down. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try to get that done in the very, very near future and take a wing at making my own, and I'll share it with you guys because I'm such the expert at techniques and things of that nature, right? Wrong. Wait, let me grab. I was going to grab one of my alcohol wipes, but no. You do not use an alcohol wipe on a rubber stamp. You just use the baby wipes. And if you use it immediately, I mean, 90% of the ink comes off. And if you really, I mean, periodically, I just take it to the sink and take a brush to it. You know, one of the kitchen dishwashing brushes, and the rest of the ink will come right out. But there we go. It is now clean. I will put my little wet wipe because it still can be recycled. It's not. I just did a little quick cleaning. For my miserly leanings, no limits. I don't want to buy more wet ones. I want to buy something cool. And if anybody, just as a heads up when you see this, in fact, never mind, I'm not going to give you the heads up because this is not going to go live until tomorrow, and by then everything will be sold out. But the tonic is on sale. The Wednesday is come up. But I just checked it out. I opted not to get anything, actually, shocking as that may sound. But half the stuff is already sold out. And the only other thing that really kind of sort of interested me was there's only like 10 left. By the time I'm done recording this video, it'll be sold out. So never mind. But just so you know, the Wednesday deals, today is Tuesday. They go live on Tuesday because we are behind or ahead to however it is. Britain is 12 hours ahead of us. I think that's how it works out. So just a heads up and a reminder for those of you that are interested. I'll set that aside. So now I've stamped the back of it. And it's ready, because remember, as artists, we always sign our work. So that's the current stamp I'm using. Now I'm going to cover up the other blooper I've already made on this mistake, because, you know, heaven forbid I not be a repeat offender. And what do I want to do? I don't know if I want to glue this down. I want to use tape. So we're going to bring out Big Mama. And I'm going to run tape all the way around the perimeter. And different people, I've seen it used both ways. When you've got an embossed surface, whether to use tape or to use glue to make sure it glues down. I'm going to go as close to the edge as I can on that. And of course, now I went over the edge. No big deal, because I can fix that. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead. I may even, just because it is. I usually just go once in the middle, but because it is raised in a lot of places, I'm going to put that right back where it goes over here. And then let's go ahead and adhere this down carefully. Right? Actually, and at this point, this thing is no matter which way. I want to make sure that at the very least the top how interesting. That's probably, there's a little bit. How interesting. Anyway, I could tell that it is off by not even a millimeter on the top, the two edges. So that will be a decision I have to make if I'm going to trim off. I'm going to, because otherwise fits perfectly, right? Yep, except for, and that's where it's uneven, so I may take it to the trimmer and trim. Actually, it's the back piece, so we'll decide. But anyway, now we have that already ready. This is now, yes. So we're almost ready to apply. So now we're ready to have the fun of applying all of these little things. This I know will go faster, and this is just 1/8. I found 1/8 foam tape on Amazon. I will link you in my, I've used it before and I've linked you before, but for those of you who haven't seen that video and or want to go looking for it, because Lord only knows, I don't even remember which one it was, I will link this in my description below. So if you're looking for, I got this and it was, I thought it was a really great price. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember now what it was. It was for, I'm pretty sure it was less than $10, but I could be wrong. I'll be honest with you, but it was a double roll. So this is still, I still have another roll and I've used this a lot. So it goes a long way, but isn't this fabulous, not having to trim down or anything where? And I'll use these scissors. My little green scissors are AWOL on me, so I have to figure out, actually, I know where they are, probably. Let's see, where is it? Let's hope. Should be in my tool thingy. If I can find them. Maybe it's not in my tool thingy, and God only knows what I did with them. Okay. They are officially very much AWOL-y, so, okay. But look, I have the Tim Holtz's too, so they have a nice 5 point. Okay, I'll find my FSJ. Those are absolutely the screaming green ones. I hate the color, but they are the best detail scissors you could ever own. So, absolutely, hands down, in my personal opinion. I have about 4 of them, so I'm not overly stressed about not having that one. I can just reach over and grab the spare. I just don't want to. Now we're going to grab these, which are a pill, because they're so little to work with. As you can see, hello, Squeaky. Hi. Are you here for your cameo? Are you here for your close-up? You really are, aren't you? Is it time for food? Are you hungry? Is this what this is all about? With her, I never know. She's my little old lady. So a lot of times I think she sees, it's like, you're talking to somebody, but wait, you weren't on the phone. That's confusing me. What are you doing, Mom? So I think she just harumphed away. She says, if you're awake and you're busy, you can talk to me. And I didn't even realize that I have right here a cubby. I have a 4x4 from Ikea. And I purposefully leave one of the cubbies empty. Not that I couldn't use it for storage, but I have it there for her to lay in. That's her, one of her favorite places. That way she wants to be close to me, but she's not underfoot. I'm not having to shove her around. We have an understanding. And that's where she goes and hangs out when I didn't catch that she had gone over there. So I don't know how she got by me. But I must have been busy paying attention to the computer screen and not, but obviously paying attention to her. Okay, so. And as you can tell, I'm just applying these little foamies on every other star. I honestly don't feel the need to put them on every one. Every other one is good, and these are also I used the Best Creations, the larger ones. These are the smaller ones from Best Creations, and I knew I had some, but I couldn't find them when I did the other video, and now I did, and they are the same width as my tape, so I don't have to sit here and be feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to adjust, or I have this wonky as a bi-level, for lack of a better term to call it now. And it's just tedious. It's a little bit of tedious work, so I apologize, because I could be doing this just off camera, or but I think I can't remember if I did this on camera on the other card, and if I did, I apologize, because now you're stuck watching it again. Eesh, but we're almost there. And we're almost there. Let me just take these. It just seems to be easier to work this with my tweezers than when I try to do it with my fat fingers here, nails and all. There's sometimes, they're a help and sometimes a hindrance. Oh, I got a message. My phone buzzed and computer beeped, and I mean, that's a messenger message because it goes to both. And wow, I didn't even count. I just grabbed the strip and it ended up being perfect. Isn't that funny? Couldn't have done that on purpose. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here and I'm going to make sure I press these all down so that it makes it easier when I want to remove the papers. I'm not ripping them off the paper itself. And I think I did that to this, but just in case, we're going to go into overkill and make sure. Although this, because it's one long strip, it comes off much faster, much easier. We'll set this aside. And now, literally, we are just about ready. All I have to do is clean this. There seems to be some, there's always a minor scratch, some foofle. But don't go crazy. I mean, in most lights, you won't be able to see it. But what I do want to do is grab, where is my little, maybe it's in the tool. I'm sure it's in the toolkit. Let's look. I'm looking for, this is what I'm looking for. I'm still looking for the scissors, and I'm going to turn those up. But I'm going to pull my X-Acto knife and put them here, my craft knife, in my Mad cup. So what I do is I go through, you use this, and this is, I got this on Amazon. It's an Ekey tools, Ekey Success Tools. And it's just full of talcum powder, so it smells really yummy, and it has a little brush. And you just push it down, but I brush it all along. I apply it all along the edge of the foam tape, so that way your sequins don't get stuck, get picked up by the adhesive. And this has worked really, really nicely. And then I just do a quick pass over, and then I actually apply some here. Well, maybe I shouldn't apply. Now, see, now I got happy. That was a little too much, but I go a little easy on that. And I'm still, I'm going to go through and remove it again. But what that does is even the paper has a little bit of static, and that will help the sequins to move around so they don't stick. And even here, now you can see it. So I'm going to remove it, but just by its nature, there'll be enough that hopefully, there we go. You won't get stuck in the sequins. So now I am ready to put my sparkly bits, and I have all kinds of sparkly bits here. So I have plenty of this. I think I have another jar that I haven't even opened up yet of this, and this is just, and I don't want to add a lot because there's not a lot of space in here, and I want to also, for you to be able to see, or just anybody, whoever gets the recipient, ultimately the recipient of this card, to see the embossing behind it. So I won't be as generous as I tend to be on this. I like, I don't know why I put some red in here, but yeah, it'll still show up. The red still shows up. So we're just putting little bits, and then I'm going to add some blue. These are all sequin bits I have. I'm not going to add because they're big. They're actually pretty large size sequins. And these are, I believe, these are ones I bought from Tall Mouse from the expo. So I don't know if they carry these on their website online. I'm going to double check with them, and if they do, I will link down below where to get them. Or you can just find your own source. So I'm just going to add, see, although that looks really pretty. I mean, that's enough. I want to add, that's kind of having a hard time reining it back. And then I have some starter ones, and these are Park Lane. These are from Joann's. I got these on Joann's. And I actually have 2 packages of these because I think when I bought them, they were like 50% off. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to stock up. And then we'll just add some stars. Okay, that's all I'm going to add. And then there's the stuff that's in my hand that I'm never going to get into that bag, so. And that, I believe, I mean, really, it should be enough. This, oh my gosh, look how pretty that looks, right? So they'll be able to get the enjoyment of the sequiny effect, and then also be able to see the embossed background. And remember, I still have to do the sentiment, and I fully intend on laying the sentiment right across the middle. So that's, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put it right here towards the bottom. What do you think? Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it across the bottom. There you go. I talked myself into it. So then let me just now go to the process of the joy of removing these foam tapey thingies. So I'll take these off, and I think it's just easier with the tweezers, in theory, unless it's not. And there's always the one that says, yeah, I'm going to make you look bad on camera. Passive non-cooperation. It thinks it's Gandhi. And that was his mantra, passive non-cooperation. But you know what? He freed a country from colonialism. So never underestimate what you can get accomplished with passive non-cooperation. See, Martin Luther King. I mean, yeah, Martin Luther King did the same thing. He followed Gandhi. All passive. Let the bad guys do the bad things, right? I'll set these aside, and then now all I have to do is grab this tape, and that just comes right off. And then now I just gotta center this. Let me see if I can get. Hang on, what I'll do. Hello, that's what I have brushes here for. Let's pick these up and get these all nicely centered. They're, no matter what, that I'm going to be shaking them off in a second, so they might as well go in here. And there's almost a part of me that wants to add a little bit more. I can't help myself. I really wanted white, but I don't have any white. I used them up on a card that I did not too long ago. I'm gonna add a little bit more red, because even though it's red, it still shows up in the background. Now watch, I'm gonna regret this. You watch. And then we'll add some more stars, because I think there's plenty of blue there. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna add some blue. I can't help myself. Stop it, Myra, stop it. Okay, we've got just a couple more blues. Okay, that's enough. I'm taking one back. Because, of course, that one sequence made a difference, right? I'm crazy. I drive myself crazy. Holy mackerel. Okay, so now we're going to just brush all these little pieces in now. Come on. Come on. Work with me here. Except for that one. That one does not. I'm not sure what message it's wanting to send, but the message I'm receiving is, I'm not going to go where you want me to go. Neener. Put that lid on. Now, all I have to do is put this down and try to center it. And what I want to do is, you notice I'm going to try to put the points kind of centered in between the stars. And then just center it, more or less. And this is going to be a one and done. I'm only going to get one try at this. So, and I'm going to call it good, even if it's not good. But there we go. Oh, I'm really happy. This is, oh yeah, isn't that cute? And you can still get it to come down, or you can still shake it around, and you can see the background. This is exactly what I had envisioned. Now, we set this aside. The only thing we have left, well, except for cleaning up my mess here a bit. So where's my trash? I tend to kick my trash far away from me because I'm a dingbat. Okay, so now all we have left to do is grab my sentiment pieces. I have 1, 2, here's the third one. I have all the pieces, okay, cut out. So, and normally what I do is I will do one color one and then cut the rest in white. And I didn't think that looked so well. I did it, and I didn't like the white background, so I definitely went with doing them all in blue, and I have enough blue to do that. So I would, depending on the color of paper I'm using, I might, use white just because I have more of it. And especially if I'm using, specialty paper or something like that. But this is, if anybody who's watching me do, this is my method for doing gluing intricate cuts. I do not drive myself crazy trying to write on the back of these things. I just grab them, and usually my puddle is to my left. I don't know why I suddenly am going to the right. Is that, political statement? I don't know. Does it say something about me? Who knows? But I just, you know, dip it in, make sure it all gets some glue. All right. And then I grab it and I'm going to lay it on one. And all you have to do is literally line up the very beginning, that first letter. In this case, it's the B. And it's like magic. Everything else, once you got the first piece, that beginning, everything else falls into place for the most part. There is a little bit of offness, I can tell. And part of that, and that's, I would be able to tell better if I had the right glasses on, but by the time I will put them on my face, it will be too late and this will be glued down. But still, it just stabilizes it because this is just paper. So it does two things. It stabilizes and adds just an additional bit of dimension. So I could get away with just two layers, which will, you know, make it easier because I have to do 12 of these cards. So it means I'm cutting out 24 of these. So, but yeah, I'm going to put it like right here. So I'm going to do this one since it's the demo card. I'm going to go ahead and make it 3 layers and then make an executive decision as to whether I want to do for the rest of the cards 3 layers or not. So we will see. I will let you guys know what I ended up doing, what I ended up choosing to do. But whoops, okay, there we go. Just dip this down here. Okay, and of course I put glue on the top of it because I'm a dingbat, but that's okay because I can wipe that off, and or it will dry clear anyway and you won't notice it. Right? Okay, so again, I line up the B and everything just fell right into place. A lot of this I could just, you know, literally just, you know, smooth, you know, just wipe off, as you see. But yeah, it came in, and of course, what do? I leave my tweezers that I want to use right now in the glue puddle because that was the logical thing to do. It means I just wasn't paying attention. You should pay attention. But then I frequently say I'm too broke to pay attention. So, but there, now we got that glued down. Let me grab my alcohol wipe. I'm down to the bottom of this big bottle Steve got at the beginning, early on in the pandemic last year, when you could not get a bleachy wipe, you know, alcohol or, you know, disinfecting wipe to save your life. Remember that, guys, from last year? You know, Steve managed to snag this from work. He was able to, I gave him one. So it's this, just no rinse, Sani, and 95 wipes, and I have been using it ever since, and I'm now down to probably maybe the last 20 of them, give or take. I really rationed them. But there's quite a bit of alcohol, so I'm planning on just taking a bunch of other wipes and just, you know, once I run out of those, and just put them in there and let them soak up the alcohol. Although I really don't need, there's not that burning need for, you know, the sanitizing wipes as there was back in the day. So, okay, so now I just wiped that all off and I'm going to use that glue again. Hello. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just going to kind of just strategically put some, just with the wet glue, and put some glue dots. Or do I? No, I'm not going to try to dimensionalize it further. No, it's just going to go. I'm just going to put, once I decide where this is going to go exactly, so I'm going to put, let's see. Okay, I'm going to put some glue dots. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and here on both of the stars. A little bit here. And the Y, the back of the Y. Yeah, I don't want to put anything that's going to touch. That will change, so I'll do it down here too. I'm going to anchor it to the bottom. I don't want to put any glue anywhere that might touch the acetate. I do not want to run afoul of the acetate. Again, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. And then we're just going to lay this down, drop this down. And I seem to have had pretty good aim. I'm going to straighten this up just so I can see it from my angle. And guys, girls, children of all ages, I've done it. This is it. There you go. Maybe not a quick card, but once if for a production model, once you get all the cutting done, you can literally just whip these out. Probably the more tedious part is going to be applying all the foam to these, and this is what I call television work. This is where I watch YouTube or other YouTubes or something else, whatever it is, Last night I think we were watching an episode of Handmaid's Tale, as I was working on stuff. So but there you go. I mean, there you have it. That's going to be my swap card. And, patriotic, but wait a minute. No, wait, because I had decided I wanted to probably add some rhinestones. So give me a second. Let's go see. Let me go find my rhinestones. I'll be right back. Well, heaven forbid I should leave well enough alone. I found the sequins. I ended up changing my mind, and I'm going to, hang on, stuff in here. I'm going to use this just to contain my sequins. There's stuff in here that I don't want to necessarily, so, okay. I'm just going to pour, they're not sequins actually, they're, my little rhinestones. But it just makes it easier to corral them. Ooh, yeah. I don't think I need that one, but it's because I haven't tortured myself enough. We are going to add these rhinestones on them because I think we always need bling. Let's be honest here. Be truth. There's people out here going to say, oh yeah, that's what it needed, Myra, the bling. We got the bling. Okay. So let me put some glue dots here, literally, with my trusty little glue bottle. Let's put the lid on so that meanwhile, or my little pin in here while the glue dries. And I'm going to grab these little tiny little rhinestones. And these are, I'm 99.9% sure these are all Tall Mouse. I get these from Tall Mouse at the expo. And I can't imagine that they don't have them on their website if they carry them in their store. So they should have them on their online store. So I will go looking for them and try to link you to them. They're my favorite source for these guys. And I've had this package for forever. But yeah, yes, I'm liking this look. It needed a little bling. And mind you, the sequins on the inside did do that. But I'm liking that. And of course, I'm doing this, and this means that I'm going to do, I don't know, don't. And hopefully none of the people who are in the swap watch this video. Let's see. Because that means I'm gonna have to commit to adding the sequins to all the cards. Oh my goodness, and that's 12 cards. But again, this is, whoops, wait a minute, I've got too happy here. Let me not get too ahead of my, ouch! Ow, I poked myself there, people. Let it not be said, there it is, proof positive, I bleed. Let it not be said, I don't bleed for my art. Oh, good grief. Let me just put these, but this is actually going, so I'm not too, whoops. It would help if I actually picked up the sequence, do you not think? And we'll just grab these and put these down. So this is an extra, 5 minutes of watching me, Oh my goodness, no, you're not supposed to stick to the sides of this. There we go. But this does go, it actually is coming together very quickly. So, it's more going to be about, do I have enough sequins? I mean, I always want to call these sequins, they are not. Do I have enough rhinestones to do this to all the cars? In theory, I hope I do. So, I mean, if not, maybe, and this might be might be an element. I'm going to leave, maybe I'm doing this for the card here just to give you guys an idea of an added embellishment. But I don't know if I'm going to, because this is not going to do me any good if I can't get these fast. So, this may be an Amazon. I wonder, this may not be where and I always go first to my small people before I go big. But this might be a moment where I may have to resort, if I could find these on Amazon, just so that I can, because I want to get these cards done and out in the next day or two. There are some people who already, I'm already getting the cards, and they're no longer saying, there isn't a deadline, we just, just get them done. So I'm notoriously the last person sending out her cards. I am now trying to not be the last card out. And I've already signed up for the June swap, and it's going to be a masculine card, Father's Day, and that would be interesting. Maybe I'll coordinate with my niece, because my father's gone. For both Steve and I, both our fathers are gone. So we don't have dads to do Dad's Day with. So I don't know, maybe I can do a pet related one, because, and although my daughters, I will say, and Steve and I married late in life. We've only been married 3 years, and I have grown daughters, all, my youngest is 31 now, I believe. And how would, I should know these things, shouldn't I? I mean, I did give birth to her. And I have grandkids, but anyway, but they do. Anyway, what I was getting at is they do love Steve. So it's really cool to see how they have bonded. And of course, they bonded early on when we were dating over Pokemon Go. So there you go. A family built on a game. I remember that first time that Olivia, my youngest, came down, and it was funny. Yeah, she already liked him, and she was, when I went to visit her after, she had come down, and she said, "Oh my God, I love Steve." And I go, "How can you say that?" She had only, spent a couple of days with us in July. And we did. We took her to the Orange County Fair, and we ran around the fair playing, it's taking in the fair and playing, Pokemon Go. But still, to me, that was not enough time. It's not like they, spent hours on the phone or around each other, that kind of thing. She says, no. But and back then, Tatiana still lived with me. She said, "No, Tatiana keeps me informed." Tatiana. So apparently the sisters talk. And my oldest, Natasha, did bond with him because she lives locally here. So my other two live up in Northern California. Anyway, that's just my chitter chatter. While I'm sitting here doing that, I go, instead of talking about technique or something like that, I just blather at the mouth. I think I do have space to put that there. So I have that, and I'm going to put one there. I want to dot the I with one too. So there we go. I think no matter what I end up doing, I think all of them for sure going to get one of these little rhinestones on the eye. But we'll see, because this, when you're doing like a card or a couple of cards like that, it's not a big deal. But when you're doing 12 cards, I'm suddenly wondering if I'm going to have enough. But there, every card needs a little bling. So now it feels complete. Now it's done. So there you go. Although I could go crazy and sit here and go nuts and add, and I go, no, we're not going to do that. You know what? And here's another thing that I could have done is grabbed stickles or any of the Nuvo drops that I have, and I could have just put drops there too. That's what I might do. See, I got it. I can still add sparkle, add that little bit extra to the card with the supplies I had. I did not even think about it. Ooh, there's more that can be added. So wow, I didn't even think about that, because I can even add it to this card. Okay, we're gonna try to leave well enough alone, because otherwise this video will be 3 hours long while I'm sitting here going nuts adding stuff. And there's a phone call that I'm going to have to actually, let me let that go. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed me watching, hanging out with me while I made my swap card. And I wanted to do this on camera and share with you so you could see that you're not just limited to the supplies in Anna Griffin's kit, which again is this one. It is the Anna Griffin Celebrations Finishing School Craft Box, the Celebration Chest. I believe it is still available on her website, so I will link you down below if you want to buy it. It is, no matter what price, I think it's worth it with the cards, and then you get the dies and the embossing folder. So again, you have future ability to make all kinds of cards, so you're not just limited to the supplies that come in the kit. And then I didn't even use it all, because remember, and I'm going to pull it over here. I mean, here's the embossing folder we did use, but I didn't even use the ribbons yet. And on this card, I did not use a circle, but I could have done a background, not using, but I wanted to use the embossing here. So there is a lot of cards that can be done with this once you run out of the supply. So I personally believe it's worth it. But Anyway, I just wanted to share with you. I hope, again, I really do hope you enjoyed this, that you took away something from this. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, drop me a note and say, hey, I love your stuff, Eromaya. Really, maybe you can go somewhere else. I mean, whichever. I'm good. There's no ego here. And again, if you want to see more videos from me, by all means, subscribe and then ding the bell so that you know when I'm on next. And I'm going to be trying to be on here more often, get back into my regular swing of things. And meanwhile, just go out there, guys, and be creative. Make your own pretty. And enjoy the process, even with the mistakes and the bumps and everything, including having to clean, glue off of acetate. But know that we're all in this boat together. We all make mistakes, and as far as I'm concerned, it is not there are no mistakes. They're just opportunities for creativity. So if I survive them, so can you, and we survive them together. So take that with it, make something beautiful, and otherwise enjoy your day. And as always, don't forget, we're all a little mad here, so scrap the madness with me, okay? I will talk to you later. Bye.